Well, it's official. Duels is dead and will be removed shortly. So hello, Snugglebugs. Welcome to today's Hearthstone video where we're going to go over, I know at this point it's a little bit late, but I want a little bit of time to think about it. And if you're around on the channel, I don't do news videos a ton. So I guess this one hit me a little harder and I wanted to kind of give my thoughts on it. So I guess we'll quickly go over this post that's on the Hearthstone Blizzard website. So as we think about the future of Hearthstone and where the team can best focus their efforts, we've made the difficult decision to discontinue support for the Duels mode. We do not have any plans for any future scheduled updates for Duels, and the mode itself is scheduled to be removed from the Hearthstone client in April. Likely when the new set, like the full set and rotation, comes out, and we'll get into it further, but BG's Duos as well. This change will allow us to shift our resources to where we feel we have the most impact, including traditional Hearthstone, Battlegrounds, and more. To that end, Battlegrounds Duos is scheduled for an upcoming Battlegrounds patch, and we're trying out some Duels treasures in our next arena season, with more details soon. We want to thank all of our passionate Duels fans for every pile of loot, treasure, and hard-fought victory you've collected along the way. It has been a heroic run, and we couldn't have done it without you. So Duels, I guess for those who aren't familiar, is effectively a treasure-based arena type game mode where you build a deck, and it's fantastical, really, and you get some crazy things that go on. And I've only made a few videos on it because, honestly, the run, similar to Arena, there's like 9 games, and as you know, or as most of you know, I don't really stream, so it's hard for me to get that many in for, say, either a single video or 2 videos. So, but outside of creation, Duels was probably, other than maybe Battlegrounds, my favorite game mode that Hearthstone had to offer. My collection didn't really allow for some of the crazy stuff, as I really only have the standard collection, and Duels was sort of a little bit more all over the place. But it was a ton of fun. And between the fact that I know Mercenaries wasn't liked by people, but the fact that Mercenaries was effectively discontinued, or I shouldn't say effectively, it was discontinued. Twist, I can't remember now if they've officially called that out, but it's basically already gone, almost dead on arrival. And Duels is now being weaned out, basically to say we know that almost everyone plays only Battlegrounds, and whether it's Wild or Standard, traditional Hearthstone. Now, I mean, I get it. I don't know their numbers. I'm assuming there's a lot of reasons for this. Why they're removing it from the client versus just leaving it in there, balanced or not, that I can't say. But I get it. They can't have this many different modes all using the same collection and keep them all balanced. Like, that's just, it's hard. It would be hard enough, we see it in Standard specifically, and Wild, but Standard specifically where I'm at, to keep the game balanced with just the 11 classes in the card pool they have, let alone trying to balance every game mode that uses the same cards with the same effects around. Which is also why I believe we've seen cards change in Battlegrounds. There used to be cards in Battlegrounds that existed. Obviously, they cost different a little bit, but their effects were the same or very similar between the 2 modes, and I think they cut that out so that way they didn't have to worry about the balancing of the 2 modes or people getting confused by the names from the 2 modes having different effects. Long story, or long-winded story, the reason I can see this harming Hearthstone is I don't believe there's that many players who only play Duels or spent a lot of money just to build a collection to play Duels and that kind of thing, which is probably why it's also coming to a close. It wasn't actually drawing in income with a cost type of thing. That being said, with a lot of the news that has been going around lately, and less players playing traditional Hearthstone, and then now modes going away, it definitely feels like with the game being, I think, 10 years old at this point, or close to, falling with less stuff. They're removing stuff versus adding stuff. I do feel as though we're hitting a spot where some players are going to leave just because they don't want to keep investing in a game they're not sure about. And I know I'm going long-winded, but I want to do this in sort of one take just to get my actual thoughts out there. I don't plan on going anywhere. I still love the game. Like I said, I love Battlegrounds. I personally am hoping that Battlegrounds Duos is super fun and hope to bring that to the channel. I know our audience is mostly traditional Standard, so I'll try to make sure we make that type of content still as well. But for me, I guess what I'm just saying is I can see where this might start going downhill, and admittedly, with some breaks I've taken from Hearthstone in the past, for those who've been around a long time, it's definitely pushing me almost into that spot again, and I've seen multiple comments come through effectively saying they're going to do the same thing take a little bit of a break just because it's just bad news, which makes you feel bad, kind of thing. So on top of that, what I'm going to ask is I will continue to make the Hearthstone content. I will bring out Battlegrounds content, probably when Duels comes out versus solo Battlegrounds. And maybe between now and then, I might try a few other different games on the channel. So if you have any ideas, I know we've had some people bring up Marvel Snap. I kind of stopped playing it myself because it was really hard to keep up with new cards. But I mean, if you'd like to see me with the collection I have, see if it still work, maybe I'll bring that back. I was thinking about trying, there's the more classic ones, MTG. I used to play like 15 years ago, Pokemon TCG, like the big ones, or maybe find some smaller games, or just any other things you might be interested in. I want to try it out. I want to bring some new stuff, some variety to the channel. Not saying Hearthstone's going away anytime soon, but it'd be really nice for me to play some games, see what I enjoy, see what you like to watch me play, and maybe then I can start making different content in the future versus like replacing it and all that stuff right now. So it's kind of a channel question update slash going over this Duels removal and just how I feel about it. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, and hopefully it's not as bad of a sign as it sounds, and that means they can put enough effort to make traditional Hearthstone, I don't want to say fun again, because I enjoy it for the most part, but it still hasn't felt like that, in my opinion. The old gods type era hasn't been around since then. It's sort of, to me, that was still one of my highlights of the game. So anyway, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Like and comment and subscribe if you enjoy and you want to see more Hearthstone and or additional content. As I said, we might be branching out a bit, and I'll see you in the next one.